welcome to EchoCast, and welcome Holly Hapke. Holly is a senior marketing lecturer at the University of Kentucky, go Wildcats, where she has the daunting task of keeping classrooms. They're not even classrooms. They got to be like auditoriums of students up to 1,000 at a time engaged and learning. Not to get too personal, but I don't even think I had 1,000 people in my hometown. So Holly's basically teaching Annandale, Minnesota, on a daily basis. So in addition to her day job, though, which we're going to find out more about today, Holly is also a very active contributor to industry and Echo 360 conferences, both here in the States and around the world. So very, very committed to engaged and inspired learning, and we are very glad to have her here on the big show today. So, hey, Holly, how you doing?
Hi, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the time and to talk about just higher education.
Well, we are going to dive into all of that kind of stuff in some specific areas of your leadership and application of learning technologies. Specifically, I really want to dig into a little bit into this 3-in-1 model that I know you've been advancing over the last few years. But before we do that, I thought it'd be good just to kind of give a little bit of this doesn't have to be a whole this is your life thing, but you've been in higher education for a while and you've really been doing a lot of cool stuff in higher ed. So maybe just for the benefit of everybody kind of tuning in here, give us a little bit of background on how you ended up in this lane, this path, if you will, and then specifically maybe how you came to be such an advocate for bringing technology into the classroom.
Well, I won't go back to the very beginning, but being at the university, just finishing up my 15th year here, I had taught smaller classes. So it wasn't that I didn't always start out as an auditorium exercise classes, but it moved me or shifted me about 10 years ago to the space of an old auditorium. And in that space, we had right at 700 people. And this auditorium had lots of distractions. And I can remember the first time I actually tested Echo 360 was I wanted to, so many students would leave the Tuesday before Thanksgiving and in the US, and they would travel that whole week. And they would never get my Tuesday lecture. And I wanted to live broadcast my Tuesday lecture and let the students that needed to travel still engage with my content because they kept on missing that Tuesday lecture. So in the fall, and this is almost a decade ago, I asked 100 students, can you volunteer to log in and do this? And it was way before all of this other stuff. Like I needed a team of people to help me get my camera, my microphone, everything around just that one 75-minute broadcast. And it was a lot of clunkiness, like tripods and big cameras. And I know a lot of things has changed in 10 years, but I can remember why I wanted to do it for my students. And it was flexibility. And it's still flexibility today. Now, my space again has evolved into this whole 3-in-1. So I still have on any given day around 400 people in person and around 400 online. And then I have another 200 that are doing it offline. So that's where my 3-in-1 comes from. And it allows students to have a choice to be in person live with me, with their peers, streaming live anywhere in the world, but they're at least engaging with me and my TA and their peers, or they could do it offline and are on demand, and they can still engage with their peers if they happen to be there at the same time. So,
yeah, if you can remember back, what were your instructor colleagues? Were they in the same space as you? Were you all trying to kind of figure this out, or were you, by nature of the classes that you had and in your situation, was it specific where you were out there, trying to figure this out on your own, or did you all feel like you were all in the same boat?
Yeah, it did level the playing field, but back then, no, I was kind of that forerunner. I had been stage on the stage. I had my own stage. I had a pipe organ behind the curtains. It was this, and chandeliers. I had my own pulpit. And but there was a lot of distractions. So any person who has taught in that space, there's lots of distractions. And so I had to always figure out how I was going to engage the students in that space. And yeah, my other educators, they thought I had anything with video back, even back then, was you're going to record yourself and you're going to actually let it, like somebody else is going to record you. And I had done another platform a couple years prior to that, and back in 2010, and when I went on maternity leave, and they were like, "You're going to really post that so people can see it, and you're just going to like give it away?" And it was a very different time period, and I think back. Even in 2010, like so, a whole decade, and a couple years later, we've been through COVID, and now more and more of my colleagues, including me, are trying to figure out how can we continue to make this video system software solution better for our students.
Yeah. Well, and to even, speak of it just as video, you have taken the video kind of platform and really, extended it into things. So, we've mentioned now a couple of times this 3-in-1 model. Tell us a little bit about it. And then specifically, because I know, and I know you're a very humble person, but just so everybody knows, Holly and the University of Kentucky, they are the number one, I was told, the number one polling university for Echo 360 in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so nobody is utilizing the depth of the interactive applications as much as you are. So with that set up, explain to us what 3-in-1 model is and what some of those applications are that kind of help sort of animate the model.
Right. Well, the model really begins with the student in mind. It's very student centric, and the approach is the flexibility of time and space are on the student side, as opposed to my side, as opposed to maybe the institution or the instructor. But I have given the option or choice to the student, and it hasn't always been that way. So I will tell you, even in the midst of COVID, when 100% everyone had to be online, but does that online mean synchronous or asynchronous? And we had this whole discussion about what is the benefit of asynchronous and synchronous, and using other platforms. But all throughout COVID, I've still have kept the 3-in-1 model. So pre-COVID, post-COVID, I've kept this 3-in-1 model because there's value in having a live session with physical people in your space and having that interaction. And I poll them for that information as well. But the same thing that people outside of that physical space, but that time element, we're all in it together. So I asked a question today about inelasticity and elasticity of goods. I mean, like, here's a list of 9 items. I could throw it into the channel, the back channel, get students to quickly vote on it. At the same time, to make it more summative, I could actually add a poll question on the fly as well, and get the audience response system in there, and then they can see it. I will tell you that it is a great day when I get a 100, when the grade comes up and everyone has got the correct answer. I'm sad to say that I do not, I lavish at those days and I celebrate those days. But even today, when I thought it was a slam dunk question, and I'm a gambler, and I thought everyone should know what this is. I just been talking about it. We just did an exercise about it. And I put, it's a break even point. And so I put as a distractor, bubble point. Really? So I realize the value of, and then somebody will message me later and say, the computer, it wouldn't accept my answer, so I put the other answer. So they just pick what's on top. I love it. So I love the activities of polling, because I can quickly assess the students on content, but priceless when it comes to people's opinions, right? The students I can put a Likert scale up there, and a Likert scale, however you say Dr. Likert's name, but you strongly agree or you strongly disagree. And then you can justify your answer. So a space in that many students, whether they're physical in that space or somewhere else, they're not going to holler out from the balcony. I have a balcony, right? So they're not going to holler out the balcony what their opinion is about being neutral on something, but they will quickly type in their response, and I can go to either the strongly agree or strongly disagree, or look at the neutrals. So I love the audience response system built into the platform. It's video capturing it, and then the students that are offline, they can see that interaction. They can see the students' feedback and comments on their own time. And then, of course, the students could go back if they missed something that I might have covered during that live 75 minutes.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, and you bring up a really good point. Beyond the, the sort of spatial sort of harmony that you can create using this technology, whether somebody's in your auditorium, which, by the way, this auditorium sounds great. Like, I got to visit. I want to see the, that's quite a setup. But beyond just the sort of the practical, sort of benefits of keeping people kind of on the same sort of in the same time and the same script. Are there other issues or other benefits? So either on the glass half empty or glass half full side that you're seeing, for using this technology and just being so tuned in to the different ways that young people are learning and needing to learn based on time and space that have emerged?
Well, when I started doing some research around UDL, Universal Design Theory, and the learning piece of that is to make sure you're looking at a couple of different. The model includes a lot of things about adaptability, and so I know we haven't really mentioned accessibility, but my students are from. It's a principles of marketing class. So you have students that are not business majors. This may, in fact, be their only business class that they take beyond economics in the College of Business. So, and we are a College of Business and Economics college, and so because they are less likely to take any other business classes. So a student from social work or nursing or design or communication, they're coming to take this class and they're bringing a lot of different backgrounds. So just the different majors from the different colleges that are coming in, it's a very diverse population. I also am seeing a lot more I was going to say lower classmen, but sophomores. This is a 300 level class. It's always been a junior based class. So over the last 10 years, because the students are bringing in more credit hours, we're getting more sophomores. So I'm seeing not only a variety of majors and minors, but I'm also getting a little younger audience. And I still have a diverse population of international students. Not to take a back step from accessibility, but my disability students are also in that whole mix. So when you look out and think, oh, wow, yeah, I can video capture. Yeah, I can pull it. But now what am I doing to help these all of us make my content more accessible, my content live to them, and making sure it's capturing, or the transcript is available that they can read through it afterwards, and it helps both me as well as all my students.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. I love everything about that. We could talk all day, but we can't. And so I'm gonna wind us down here and ask you our last question. So this is a little segment that we call Inspiration Point. What would be that biggest piece of advice or biggest lesson that you've learned along the way that you would impart on somebody else?
That is a very loaded question, Jeff. So thank you again for asking your guests. But one thing I want to, I always, stress is that if I can just reach one, then I've done my job, right? If I could just reach one. And for someone who has for years taught thousands of students, if I'm only reaching one, then I've done my job. So you can take a step back, and you don't have to have massive size the classes that I do. You don't even have to have 50 students. If you're sitting there and thinking, I'm going to reach one, then you're doing your job. There no one says that they have to accomplish everything within that space at all times for all people. If I'm reaching that one, and I will always say that we're always learning because we're always getting tested. Every day is a new test. But when you can reach that one, and that aha moment when someone sends another email to you or a group chat and says, hey, I saw what you're talking about. I saw that. It helped me be a better consumer. And so I think that's the question, or that's really, I still have lots of questions, and I think my students do too, but to know that you are reaching the one, you have to use all this stuff. I really could not do my job and do it effectively without my software platforms, my captures, my polls. I just couldn't.
Well, I love that, and it's you're it's that whole starfish adage, and you're reaching many more than just one. But I love the spirit of your answer there. As long as it is just that one, so. It's all about starfish. All right. Well, hey, thank you, Holly Hapke, for joining us here on EchoCast and sharing your creativity, your obvious commitment, dedication to getting through to those learners, and your commitment to inspired learning. So we're going to let Holly go now, but everybody else stick around for a quick demonstration now of some of the applications that Holly was just talking about. And you can also go to echo360.com for more episodes and resources to create your own inspired learning experiences.
Here's a quick demonstration of an Echo 360 solution related to this episode of EchoCast. Reach out to us at echo360.com to learn more.
Hi, this is Fred with Echo 360. And this is just a short demonstration video to show you how to use our embedded video polling functionality. So first I'm going to show you how an instructor would create what we call an interactive media, which consists of a video with some polls embedded inside of it. And then we'll take you through how that ties into an assignment inside of the learning management system and what it looks like from the student perspective. And then lastly, we'll show you where the data appears for the instructor to view. So I am logged into Echo 360 and I'm on my library page. So I have this video on Pinwheel Galaxy, short demonstration video. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and add a poll to it. So I'll click Add Poll. And you can slide this little slider here to the point in the video where you want to add that poll.
Ever taken by the Hubble Space Telescope.
Okay, so let's say I want to add a poll here. Now I can do a couple of things. I'll see a bank of all of my existing polls that I'm the owner of, and I'll also see polls that have been shared with me. So this enables you to kind of collaborate with others and integrate their activities into your course assignments. You also can search and filter to more easily find the content you're looking for. Now, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and create a new poll. So I'll click Create Poll, and we'll do a multiple choice poll. So the poll is going to appear 14 seconds into this video. And we're going to ask the question, what type of galaxy is the Pinwheel Galaxy? And we'll populate 3 choices. And we're going to set the correct answer as letter A. And we'll go ahead and click Done. And you can add as many polls as you want, but for now we're just going to add that one, and we will save it. All right, so now this poll appears under the Embedded Polls tab. So I can see all of the polls that I've added to this video, and this one is at 14 seconds. All right, so now we're going to go into the learning management system, and I'm going to demonstrate this in Moodle. And we're in this weather and climate course, and I'm going to just add a new activity. So new assignment, and call it Pinwheel Galaxy, and we're going to click here, the Echo 360 embed button, and I'm going to select this interactive media. So again, interactive media means that it's a video in your library that has at least one poll embedded into it. So I'm going to pick this one, keep the defaults, insert it, and set it as online text. All right, so now we're going to switch and go in as the student. The student's going to open up Pinwheel Galaxy. Now, you'll see that I'm able to play the video, and I'll show you that I'm able to navigate up to the point where that pole exists.
This is the Pinwheel Galaxy in the constellation.
So if I wanted to, I can advance, but I can't advance beyond where the pole is. So, all right, so at this point, it's going to take me to the location where the pole is. And if I want to actually get a bigger view, I can click this button to pop it out into a new window. All right, so have a little bit more space. So what type of galaxy is the Pinwheel Galaxy? I'm going to pick letter A and submit that. Okay, so I immediately see that I got it correct, and now I'm able to continue watching this video.
Every one of these points of light is a star. Every.
All right, so now let's go back in as the instructor. Okay, so back in my library, now I do have the option to filter. So I want to filter on type. So I only want to look at my interactive media. Okay, and here is the session here. So we'll go ahead and open this up. All right, and I'm going to see this polling tab. Right, so I know that I put that in my weather and climate course in the LMS, and I can see a list of all of the polls. So I'm going to look at the poll that I created, and it's going to show me the results. So I can see the aggregate data here. One response, it was correct. And then if I scroll to the bottom, I can see that that response was by George Miller, and he got it correct. Right, so the instructor has that data. And we will be adding additional functionality, including exporting that data and some other options in the very near future.
Thanks for tuning in to EchoCast. For more information on these and other inspired learning solutions, visit us at echo360.com.